as a result of Jotaro Amagi's Project GU failure and the huge fire that accompanied it, over 80% of the world's data was gone. GU was dissolved, and I assumed responsibility for its failure by resigning from CC Corp. In the end, I suppose I couldn't win against either Amagi or Harold Hewick. But I didn't lose to them either. The faith of engineer Jun Banshoya had not yet been broken. It was soon decided that the world would be shut down temporarily. One can only theorize at the purpose of CC Corp's executives, but after having lost over half their data, it was assumed that it was a simple managerial decision. They reasoned that instead of working towards repairing the old game's data, it would be a better idea to apply their resources to a new generation game. A new game project the company had dubbed R2. This was also a way to escape from the ever-looming ghost of the genius, Harold Hewick. Of course, analysis of the Herald system had been halted, and the re-examining black box data had also been implemented into R2. Soon the day arrived. The town and area data that they had managed to save were presented to the public. The first generation of the world faced its final day. I logged in with my own private character to see. Makanu was serenely quiet. The cityscape that made one think of Venice was beautiful, and the waterways reflected the evening sun. Many had gathered underneath the bridge. It reminded me of a happier time when the voices of hundreds of players echoed on the streets. Like a midsummer night's dream. The next day, this world would be gone. With lingering memories and grieving voices, those who were angry at CC Corporation completely disregarded the presence of system administrators on that final day. The characters that they had grown so attached to would not be carried over to the next version, effectively ending their lives all at once. Even so, they gathered together in the town. Everyone said goodbye to their friends. Some vowed to meet again. Others decided to move on. Keeping to myself in a desolate alley, I couldn't help but wonder. I wondered where Aura had gone. She was like Amaterasu hiding in her cave. After losing her, those 4 golden years of the world had all of a sudden come crashing down upon us. We humans had lost our God. We couldn't stop from wailing and weeping. Project GU had been designed to give us a new God, but it had collapsed in flames. I don't know exactly when it happened. A young girl, bathed in the sunset, whispered the following to me. The barefooted girl with saffron-color hair whispered to me. Her last whisper disappeared, as if the wind had blown it away. And then the girl was gone. It felt like I stood there forever. I tried to make sense of her words, and then I realized that girl, with her obviously hacked character, might well have been a wandering AI. Somehow she gave me the impression of Aura that I had once known. The world will end. It will end. And yet its core will be preserved in the next generation. Generation of unity. It is what people have always wished for. Was I the only one to think that this comforting chaos, although ironic, somehow fit perfectly with the world? But now it is all too late. The World, R2, was released to the public on December 24th, 2015. That day, which became known as Death of a Goddess, must have been bittersweet, even for the players who knew nothing about the disappearance of Aura. Releasing the new game barely a year after the unforeseeable data loss, CC Corp surprised even me with their speed. And even though all the graphic data and the battle engine were already up and running upon release, the message text, as well as the core system, must have been hastily thrown together by programmers. They couldn't have had time to properly debug. As a result, R2 was plagued by constant bug issues since day one, and the game had to be repaired and refined through regular maintenance. The majority of the Epitaph users had been lost. The only Epitaph user left to CC Corp was the propagation. It should have been carefully stored by the security administrators who took over the now defunct Project GU. However, the Avenger, the Epitaph user I removed to prevent Amagi's experiment, was still being kept in my computer. Eventually, CC Corp will become aware of the existence of Tarvos, which contains a piece of the Morgana factor, and that I have it. I'll have to come up with some countermeasures. When the RA program failed, the other 6 pieces of the Morgana factor, having been separated from their Epitaph users, were once again lost in the network's ocean of data. Project GU was gone. Amagi was beyond any hope of recovery. And with me now gone from CC Corp, things will be safe, at least as long as the Chosen Ones don't access the world. If they do, they may unwittingly draw epitaphs to themselves. Then, much like what happened with Sora and Skaith could happen again. In the end, my goal of preventing the birth of Kubia, the anti-existence, can be said to have been accomplished. Having known Harold Hewick, Jotaro Amagi, and the world more intimately than any other, I had one final duty. I had to keep the Epitaph user, Tarvos, safely hidden away. I had to prevent those outside CC Corp from learning about the power of the Morgana factor. However, things had taken a turn for the worse. Ovan. He is the Epitaph user of the Rebirth. Ovan has already started to act. He's assembled a guild. His members include Sagi Saka, Biset, Godo, and finally Shino. The name of the guild is Twilight Brigade. Does he know about Harold Hewick and the Epitaph of Twilight? Where did he learn about it? Does he also know about Morgana and the ultimate AI, Aura, I have confirmed that Ovan's left arm contains indecipherable data. What on earth is it? He has an almost incalculable amount of data capacity within him. Please stop Ovan. I'm begging you. Everything is Ovan's doing. I repeat, everything is in Ovan's hands. That man will become the guide to an uprising.